Welcome back to Chris and Retro. Tonight's video, I was kind of vacillating on what I wanted to do. It's a little later this evening, but I haven't recorded a full-length video all week. First of all, I hope you guys like some of the new content I've been putting up. I've been started working with some different software and able to push out more short content that hopefully you're finding beneficial. I pulled from a lot of old episodes and some new stuff as well, where we provide other people's perspectives. And I hope that's finding useful. The channel has taken off a little bit here. We're nowhere near where the aspirations are, but I'm close to 4,000 subscribers. So if you could please spread the word, I really appreciate that. And follow this video. It's only helping the channel grow if you're watching the content. So your feedback is much appreciated. But tonight I want to get into something. I was going to do another video on Connor, and I will get to that. There's also some content I want to cover relative to the Alaskan Avenger, convict who had been put in for taking out pedophiles and now got himself back in prison. But I do want to talk a little bit about that at some point. But for tonight's video, I really wanted to stick to something that's near and dear to my heart, and that's relative to loyalty. And some cautionary conversation about loyalty, but also, really challenging you on what loyalty even is in the first place. For those of you that have been around others, for whatever reason, this is a big thing in incarcerated population, especially, I was old. The last time I was around it, I was old enough to know better. Let's put it that way. I was in my mid 40s and early to mid 40s. And I was around a lot of younger kids. I mean, some of the people most people I was incarcerated with were, early 30s, mid 20s, that type of thing. And, they've got a different view on life. And I accepted that to a certain point. But this comment I always hear is, she's my ride or die, or he's my ride or die, or whatever. And I really feel like that they don't really understand the context of what that even means. There's so much to that. And in terms of the origination of it, I'm not sure what the origination of it is, but I do know what for me in my life and the life I've lived and those I've been around, what ride or die actually means. And it is absolutely a full-blown commitment, regardless of what you're feeling. I don't see loyalty as really that far from that. And so loyalty sounds noble. It's, it's for men, I'm loyal, I'm this, that, whatever. And you talk about your dog being loyal. These are all very noble things, but loyalty actually is a grind at times. And it comes down, there's a lot of conflict that can come with loyalty, both conflict with standing for those that others might not see why you're standing for those people. There's conflict even with the people you're being loyal to at times. They may not see it. You may not be demonstrating in a way. You may say you're loyal and they may not see it. So, what do you do with that? What I'll try to do is give you a few things here in the video that I've observed from my whole life, or from my life, and hopefully share that with you and see if it helps you make sense of it, because this is something that I'm challenged with. For me, I consider myself a loyal person to a pretty small circle, and it's very small. And my children being, the predominant members of my loyal group. I've got a few friends that I'm very loyal to, that I'm very close with because of the trust that we've developed over time. With Sam, I'm loyal to Sam, and love relationships that can be challenging. And this is where some of the things I'm going to share with you, I think probably are most important when it comes to that type of thing. In loyalty, a lot of times we'll find ourselves in circumstances. Actually, let me back up for a minute. While loyalty is a pledge to other people, and it is something where you might outwardly say, I'm loyal to you, or you may have a moniker that talks about your loyalty on whole, I think that's actually virtually impossible to be loyal to everybody that's near you. I think that we're only loyal to a few, and those few should be top of mind when you think loyalty. I think it's just an easier way to process that concept. I think it's impossible to be loyal to the collective population. I don't know about you, but Thanksgiving and holidays are great times, and I love being around family. But if your family is like mine, not everybody always gets along around the holidays. So if I said I'm loyal to my family, I might be loyal to my family, but there's always that one pain in the butt member of the family that you kind of maybe not as loyal to. But there are those people that you really do know that you'll stand for them no matter what. And I have a small group of those people. So when I said I wanted to back up, what I want to talk about the fact is my loyalty to somebody else can't vacillate. And the reason it can't vacillate is because it's a promise I'm making to me, not them. While they have a secondary benefit of that commitment being part of their life, for me, I can declare loyalty to a small group of people because I've made that promise to me. And it's something that I find personally in my gut great value in standing on that business, that I am loyal to these people because I've decided for me that that's the group of people I will. Now, herein lies the problem, is because you'll run into some conflict with that, all kinds of conflict. And some of those conflicts can actually put you in jeopardy of your freedom. Some of them just make you uncomfortable. Sometimes they might even change how people see you on whole because you're loyal to people that they don't understand why you're being so loyal. But it's still your promise to you, and you've got certain reasons why you got to that place. So if you're going to declare it to yourself that that's a person you're loyal to, then you need to stand by it no matter what, come what may. Now, that's not to suggest that you're going to be perfect, and that's not to suggest that you're going to do everything perfect in all those interpersonal relationships. In fact, that's an impossibility. So that's not what loyalty is. Loyalty is your commitment to do everything in your power to make sure that you're doing the things that are in their best interest, not always what they want, but you're standing on your business for those people. For it to be proven, there are going to be times when you're going to have to go through fire and challenges and problems on the behalf of somebody else that it doesn't really benefit you. And those trials could be protracted periods of life, years even. And yet you've decided to for you. So your reward is the fact that you've stood loyal and you've stood on the things that you said you were going to do in that commitment that you've made to yourself first and then others. It's kind of like that oxygen mask that drops out of the airplane. You got to put it on first to keep yourself alive, then give it to somebody else. It's the same thing with loyalty in my mind. As you're loyal and as you're looking out for other people's best interests based on the skill sets that you have and your view of the world, as you get through these trials, even when those people might not always agree with your tactics, in the end, on the other side, when things work through and you were still standing there in the fog of all this craziness and you were still the one standing there, that's the only time that loyalty is absolutely perfectly demonstrated. You can show up and be there occasionally throughout, but a lot of people are occasionally throughout people's journeys. But it's the ones that are there every time you turn your head, no matter the good or the bad or the whatever you're going on, they're still standing there. That's loyalty. And that should be you for the people that you've declared that loyalty to. For me, I try to stand that way. For those I've declared my loyalty to, I will be that person. Now, there generally is love related to that. And I'm not just saying romantic love. If it's a brother of mine, I have that love and I'll stand with that brother. However, love doesn't have to exist. Let's say relationships are going through hard times and things like that, and you may not be in love, or maybe you don't love the person at all anymore. Maybe it's just who knows what, any number of things. If you declare loyalty to that person, you're going to stand by them in so much as your interaction with that person and your situation in their life. It shouldn't change. That's true loyalty. So what if you're exhausted? What if you're just exhausted? What if you're hurt? So this person that you're loyal to hurt you, or they wronged you, or they behaved in a way that's completely different than what you're behaving towards them. Just because somebody hasn't declared their loyalty to you doesn't mean you don't to them. Just because somebody vacillates on their commitment to loyalty and doesn't have your fervor for that type of a concept doesn't mean that you back off yours. Keep in mind, your loyalty to them isn't always based on their behavior. It's based on your commitment to you about what you're going to do and your own behavior in that circumstance. I can't emphasize that enough, because I can tell you through time and through the grind, and especially as seasons of tough times go longer and longer, people are going to move in and out of that whole situation as how they can survive. You only have control of you and what you've decided to do. And for me and my personal relationships, there are a few people that I will be there no matter what they do to me. And no matter, it might be hurt, it might minimize the relationship and our interpersonal interaction, but it will not change my loyalty. It will not. So, going through these situations, I guess the first thing is for yourself, and the maintenance of yourself is recognize that it's a commitment to yourself. Of course, you can change your mind about that. That doesn't mean you're a disloyal person. Maybe there's some situation that's so egregious or so violates your senses that you've decided I'm no longer loyal to you. But make that decision and don't vacillate. But one of those things is making sure that you set a real tone, that the expectations are clear, that even if you don't agree with me, I'm doing things in my best interest to make sure you're okay. Communication is key. Course correct. Maybe there's things we're not perfect people. There's things when we think we're being loyal, and in fact, we're actually causing problems. In those circumstances, course correct. I do think that there's an area where I get in trouble. Be honest, but be kind about it. I'm a tough love person. I try to be kind and gentle where I can, but I can only do that for about 3 rounds of consulting, maybe 2, sometimes 1, if I'm honest with myself. But after a while, when people are not hearing what's going on, I see that hurting them. I'm standing on business for them and I'm looking over going, what are you doing? I start to get frustrated and I can be pretty mean. And so Be honest, but be kind while you're doing it. And that is a hypocritical thing as I'm looking in the camera, because those that know me really well know I can be a tremendously mean person if I'm trying to get a point across, especially if it's a situation I really believe in. And if it's in the crosshairs of this loyalty thing. But the big thing, and this is a really big thing, and you got to test your own fortitude on this one, stand alone when nobody else will. When you have decided to be loyal to somebody else and the whole world is coming around them, take up arms and stand next to them. Go through that battle with them if it's just you and that person against literally every other thing in the world. That's loyalty. Remember, this is a commitment to you. Your loyalty is your promise to you. That's a short video tonight. It's something that's really important to me. I speak about loyalty on here. A lot of times you'll hear me say stuff like I believe in loyalty over love, and I do, because loyalty is that personal promise I've made myself that I will stand next to and alongside of and through any fire for a certain amount of people that, based on my interaction with them or based on their relationship to me, matter to me that much. I don't give my loyalty to everybody, and in fact, I give my loyalty to a very few people. And some of that comes from the fact that I've been burned by a lot of disloyal people in my entire life. And so I know how serious it is when somebody looks to you as a loyal person, how important it is that you handle that relationship in a delicate, committed, absolutely without compromise way. And recognize you're human. And if you've done something along the way that makes that not seem like you're doing your part, have a conversation. Course correct if you need to, or maybe it's just a matter of misunderstanding. Guys, thanks again for tuning in. I hope this content's useful to you. I appreciate you all very much. Thanks for helping me grow the channel. I'm quite shocked at how quickly things started to take off, but I'm really happy that it is. I got a long way to go for my aspirations for the channel, so please spreading the word. If there's things that you'd like to see or guests you'd like me to talk to, by all means, let me know. I'd love to be part of that as well. But, we got some cool things coming up. Taylor Enga, who was on here as a guest a while ago. Actually, I did a few clips of her through the shorts. She's fighting again on the 14th. So her team is run by my friend Randy Smith, and my son and I are gonna go out and watch their fights that night. So we're all wishing her well, and I hope you guys put a good vibe in the air for her. But and that entire team, they're actually really good people, and I love the work that they're doing. And they've had their own challenges through the season in terms of where their gym is going to be and also this stuff. And they settled all that down because they're just absolute warriors. So I'm wishing them well on the 14th. But between now and the next time we talk, I'm going to do everything I can to stay out of trouble. I'm going to be loyal to the same people that I said I'd be loyal to before. And I will stand on business with them all the way through until the next time we talk or anytime after that. And but I hope you stay out of trouble too.